In today's tutorial, let's do a full circle pillow together. This is not what it appears, and all of these instructions are not as hard as it looks. Let's do that next. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. In today's tutorial we are going to work on the full circle pillow. Now this pillow is not what it appears. So what's going to happen in this particular pattern that we're going to do today is that we're going to start off and we're going to get bigger and bigger until the point where we were at the maximum size of the pillow. And then what we're going to do is that continue that and we're going to start decreasing it so it's actually one piece from start all the way around to the other side. So there's no seams on the outside of this pillow. So there's a lot of instructions here. So let me take you a little bit further because I simplified all of this in order to make it a lot easier for myself because you may want to customize it. This pillow is 14 inches diameter, but if you want to make a larger or a smaller one, I'm going to show you the tips and I'm going to show you some resource tools that I'll have available for you on thecrochetcrowd.com. So in the instructions it says 17 double crochets, 4th chain from the hook, and when you do the 4th chain then it means that you have a total of 18 double crochets. Now what I thought here when I originally went for 2nd and 3rd, you know, I've been crocheting for like 28 years, I assumed that the starting would be the same each and every time, but it's not. And so I started getting confused on how to operate this because I could not see that there's actually a pattern going on between here all the way to the full size that we're going to get, because it says continue in the same manner and I'm thinking I just don't get it. So I had to draw a diagram and I'm going to provide the more information link of this video that diagrams for use. I got 2 of them. And then once we get to the full size we're going to do 3 rounds of just 1 double crochet each and then we're going to decrease then all the way back to the other side. So here's the diagrams that I did. So here is my cheat sheet that I did for myself, and I don't want you to look at these as if they're lined up on top of a crochet pattern. So these are not matching each other as they line up as you go throughout your pillow. So what you're just gonna do is just look at the instruction and then just read across. Now what I was confused about is that I didn't understand that there's 2 double crochets that are into the same one and then on the next one it jumps to the other side. And then on the next one it jumps to this side. The next one it jumps to this side. See? Do you get that? See how they're jumping back and forth? So I didn't realize that was happening until I drew it out. So how I did my cheat sheet here is that this is all the ways from round number 1 all the way to 16 before we get to the final rounds that we do 3 rounds of 1 double crochet each. So how you read this is that I started off and you chain 3 and then there's 1 double crochet into the same stitch. The next one is 1 double crochet by itself and then the next one has 2 double crochets into the same one. So this one represents the 1 double crochet that stands by itself. So when I'm gonna do that all the way around. So you're gonna have a double and then 1, double and then 1 and then double and then 1 and keep doing that all the way around. So on round number 3 you're going to have chaining up 3 and then the next one will have 2 into 1 and then there'll be 2 by themselves and then the next one is the double. Okay, so there will be double into the next. So this 2 represents the 2 standing by itself. So if I move further on down the line, number 5 for example, so you have the chaining of 3 and then you have, see? Now the chaining of 3 it counts as a double crochet. That's why there's 5. So the first one, don't forget that, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then a double and then you'll do 5 double crochets by themselves and then a double. So continuing along down, number 11 for example, we're gonna chain up 3 and then it'll be 11. So we got 1, 1, 2, so don't forget that chaining of 3 counts as one of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 and then a double. So your next one then would be 11 of those again, double crochet and then a double. Do you get that? So you're gonna go all the way down until you get to the size that you want. Now here's the trick. If you want to do a pillow and it's not 14 inches, it's bigger or it's smaller, you just have to stop if it's smaller. Just stop until you get to the diameter that you want, and then if it's even bigger you can see the patterning that's happening here. So if you want it to go even bigger, the next one for number 17 would start off with chaining a 3, a double, and then there will be 16 of the double crochets in a row when you go across. So if you can use this as an example it'd be great. So let me show you the reverse on this, because once you get all the way to the larger size we have to start decreasing, and the decreasing is much easier. So here's my decreasing sheet, and the decreasing starts off and there's going to be 15 of these double crochets. So remember, the chaining of 3 counts as one of them, so there's a total of 15. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15, and then the next 2 are together. Okay, so and then the next 15 are going to be double crochets, and then the next one are together, and you're going to do that. Now the advantage of the decrease is that the ones that are all together are always at the end of this. So it's not like the other ones where we were jumping back and forth like this. When we go to start on the decrease, we just continue to chain up, and then we just go the number. So the numbers that you see here are the numbers of double crochets that are standing by themselves before you get the decrease. And remember, this is just like the other sheet. These are not lined up on top of each other. This is just a representation on what you can do. So these will be available to print on the crochetcrowd.com if you would like to have these. In today's tutorial, I'm just going to show you a small sample just so that you understand this diagram, and then we can let you go from there. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to take you to round number 5, and then we're going to do 3 rounds of 1 double crochet each, and then we're going to decrease. So if I'm only going to do to round 5 on this side, what you can do on the decrease is that you can come down, and so you can see that there's 4 double crochets in there. So you look for where there's 4 here, and you decrease coming down. So if you want to change your sizes, you just have to match what you have for the other side in order to do the decrease. Let's begin, and let's grab our yarn and a hook, and let's talk about that next. So we're going to be using Caron Simply Soft today, a 4.5 millimeter size 7 US for a crochet hook. You want a thinner hook so that the stitches pull nice and tight together. Let's create a slip knot, and we're going to chain 4, but we're not going to create a ring, so just be careful on that. And we are going to chain 4, so 1 2 3 and 4, and let's continue with round number 1. In round number 1, we're going to go to the very beginning chain, and we are going to double crochet 17 times. So when you go to do this with that chaining of 3 that we just skipped over, there'll be a total of 18 posts going all the way around, and this will provide a nice tight finish right at the center of your pillow, and I want you to put in there. So I'm going to tell you to put in 17 double crochets, and with the chaining of 3 it makes it a total of 18. So please do that, and I'll meet you back here in just a moment. So I'm back, and I have a total of 17 double crochets, and with the chaining of 3 it makes it 18. So if you just pull the posts apart, you will be able to count a total of 18 posts going all the way around. I want you to slip stitch this to the top of the beginning chain 3 that you started with, and let's move on to round number 2. I'm going to pull up the sheet and just quickly show you, and show you how to use the sheet in order to make sense. So let's go for round 2 first. So in round number 2 it says to chain 3, 1 double crochet into the same stitch, and that's what's in the instructions, and then the next one's by itself, and then there'll be a 2 into the next. So then the next one's by itself, and then 2 into the next, and that's how you're going to read this as you go all the way down. So in round number 2 we're going to chain 3 as we promised, and then it says to do 1 double crochet in the same space, just like it shows in that diagram I just showed you, and then the next one is by itself. So the next double crochet is 1 double crochet by itself, and then the next one is 2. So then there'll be 2 double crochets into this next one. So the repeat patterning going all the way around for this one, okay, is the next one's by itself, and then the next one has 2 double crochets. Please do that same patterning going all the way around. This is round technically number 2. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and because of the diagram the way it says, and I just want to show you once again here, is that what happens is, see how you have 2 in the beginning, so the one before it should just be 1 by itself. Okay, so for example you see that there's 2 in the next one, so there will technically be 2 double crochets. So there'll be 1 here, and then this chain 3 counts as 1 before it gets to the double. So you just got to kind of watch for that. So this one here, when you get all the way back around, there will be a double just right before it in order to keep it in line. So when you go to look at when you finished, this row is finished, a lot of people accidentally put in a stitch right where they think it goes right here, but this is part of the original, so you have to make sure that you're watching for that. So the last one is just 1 double crochet by itself before joining it to the top of the beginning chain. Okay, so let's begin round number 3. So round number 3 it says to chain 3, and if you can look at the sheet, the next one that you have is going to be 2 double crochets into there. So 1 and 2, and the next one will then be there'll be one double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So the repeat patterning for this one here is that there's going to be 2 into the next, and again just look at that sheet that I made for you. It just is a lot easier to be able to follow. So there's 2 into the next, and then the next 2 are by themselves. Please do that all the way around, and this is round number 3. So I'm coming up all the way back around on round number 3, and I just wanted to join it to the beginning. Okay, so let's go round number 4. So let's begin round number 4. We're gonna chain up 3. In round 4 it says the next 2 are by themselves. So there's 1 double crochet in the next 2, and then the next one after that has 2 in there. So there's a double in that one. So 1 and 2. So the repeat patterning going all the way around for round number 4 is that there's going to be 3 this time of double crochets standing by themselves, and then the next one is 2. Okay, so you got the double in there, there's the 3, and the next one has 2. So that's your repeat patterning going all the way around. This is round number 4. Please do the same thing going all the way around, and then we're going to do round 5 together, and then I'm gonna show you how to balance it off once you get to the full size, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the decrease. So I'm coming up all the way to the end of round number 4, and I'm simply just going to put in 2 double crochets into the final, because if you look at the sheet that just totally makes sense. So let's just join it to the top at the beginning, chain number 3. So let's begin. We're going to do round number 5. This will be the last round in the growth period, and then you can do the rest on your own because you're starting to get it, I'm sure of it. And let's begin round number 5. Round number 5, it says to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and the first one, the next one will have 2 double crochets in it. Okay, just look at the sheet or in the instructions, you'll see that's true. And then it says the next 4 are going to be by themselves. So we got 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then the next one is a double. There'll be 2 in that one. So 1 and 2. So just to recap, the next 4 are by themselves, and then there's 2. So continue to do that all the way around, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the once you get to the final size, and then we're gonna do the decrease. So coming up all the way back around, the last 3 are going to be 1 double crochet each, which makes sense because we started off with a chain 3 first, which gives you your total of 4 before you're doing your double. Okay, so let's just join to the top. So I'm going to stop here for the size, and you can just continue to follow the same instructions going all the way up to the size that you would like to do, whether it's the 14 inches or you have the sheet now, you can go bigger. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start leveling off. So once you get to the size that you want, the next 3 rounds are going to be 1 double crochet each. So just chain up 3, and then just in 1 double crochet into every stitch going all the way around. So please do that. Okay, so just 1 double crochet into every stitch, and you're going to do 3 rounds of that. So please do your 3 rounds if you're following along in order to carry on in this pattern, and then I'll meet you back here and I'll show you how to decrease from that point forward. Okay, once you come all the way back around, just double crocheting right to the end, you're just going to join it to the top of the chain 3. So if you're doing the whole pillow, then you're just gonna want to do 3 rounds of that double crochet. So that was just one of them. So for me, I'm going to show you how to start decreasing at this point, and I'll bring up the sheet and I'll show you exactly what to do. So here was my cheat sheet. I went all the way to round number 5, and there was 4 double crochets sitting in there, okay, before you got to the double, just like you see here. So if you're doing the pillow as per the instructions, you're gonna go all the way down, and if you made it bigger, you just have to make your adjustments. And now I'm going to start decreasing. So for the decrease, I'm looking for that I had 4 double crochets that stood by themselves. So it's a really easy way to decrease, because we're always gonna decrease on the one side. So we're never just gonna bounce around of doing it opposite like we did over here. Okay, so that's really quite easy. So I look for the stitch that I'm gonna do. So for example, say I had the 11 here, that there was 11 double crochets. In order to start the decrease, I would go 11 here. Okay, and then you'll work your way down like that. So let's start our decreasing. We're going to chain 3, and we're gonna start getting smaller. So I'm on round number 11 of the decrease if you're looking at the sheet, and so this one here, okay, plus 3 others makes 4 double crochets in a row. So 1, 2, Okay, so then that chaining of 3 plus these 3 double crochets just made it 4, and now the next 2 are together. So how you do that is that you wrap the hook going into the stitch, pull through 2 and hold, and then wrap the hook again going into the very next stitch, pull through 2 and hold, and now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and now that just became 1. So for this one here we're going to make 4 double crochets stand by themselves. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then the next 2 are together. So wrap the hook into the stitch, pull through 2 and hold, wrap into the next stitch, pull through 2 and hold, and then just yarn over, pull through it all. Okay, so this one's 4 double crochets by themselves and then 2 together. Please do that all the way around. So I'm coming up all the way back around and I'm on number 2 and number 3 and number 4, and I want to prove something to you right now. So because we had 4 double crochets in a row and then the next 2 are together, the last stitch, the last 2 stitches should be 2 together if your counts are right. So we would just bring those together. So it doesn't matter which rounds you're on for the decrease, your last 2 will always be your 2 ones, or 2 that are together. You then just join it to the top at the beginning, chain number 3. So you want to continue to decrease, and you have to make sure that you get your pillow form in there before you decrease too much. Pillows can shrink quite a bit, but you want to make sure that you can get that pillow in. Let's move along, and we're going to decrease once again. So we're moving down and we're going to go into round number 13. So number 13 we're going to chain up 3, and it has in number 13 the next 2 are by themselves, which makes sense because last time it was 3. Okay, so you have a total of 3 altogether. So you have chaining of 3 counts as 1, 2 and 3, and then the next 2 are together. Okay, so on this round here, round number 13, it's 3 double crochets standing by themselves and then 2 together. Please do that all the way around. Up all the way back around, and it's just a matter of just following it around. So 1, 2 and 3, and if my counts are right, the final 2 stitches, just like you see here, will be 2 together. Okay, and that was round number 13. So you just join it to the top at the beginning. Okay, so I'd want to probably get in my pillow form if I was using one at this point before I was continuing in this particular size pillow that I'm doing. It's just a small one obviously. So let's move along. We're going to go for round number 14. So we're going to chain up 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and that counts as one of them. So there's going to be, the next one will be 1 double crochet by itself, and then the next one will be 2 together. So in this round here there is 2 that are stand by themselves. So 1 and 2, and then the next 2 are together. So please do that same patterning going all the way around. Coming up all the way back around, 2 are by themselves, and then the final 2 are 2 together. Okay, so that was that round. Just finishing up here, and then just join it to the top of the beginning, chain 3. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of really get a good idea what we're doing here. And so let's go for round number 14, or sorry, round number 15, chaining up 3. And in this one here is that the next 2 are together, just like this. Okay, and then the next one is 1 double crochet by itself. Okay, so 2 together, and then 1 double crochet by itself. Please do that all the way around. Coming up all the way back around, the last 2 are 2 together. So we have one more round to go, and one more round, let's just join it to the top of the chain 3. So we still have a little bit of a hole left. So in the next one here we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, this is the final, and number 16, and the next 2 are together. Okay, and do that, and then the next 2 are together. Please do that, and then the next 2 are together, and I need you to do that all the way around. And I don't want you to cut your yarn off at this moment. I want to show you what to do in order to close this so you have a nice tight fit. So 2 together all the way around. So it came up all the way back around, and the last 2 are 2 together, which makes sense, right? And we're just going to join it to the top of the beginning, chain 3. So here's what we need to do. We need to trim this tail off, but we need to trim it in a way that we can make it for a tail so that we can sew it in with. So just cut it and then just pull it through the last stitch. So now we still have a minor little hole that's in here, and so what we need to do is that we take this strand and we put it through the needle. Okay, and what we're going to do is that we're going to gather the remaining stitches that are here. So just kind of like it's like clotheslining it almost. Just put it through. And I like to, just for fun, I like to close it shut all at one time. Get this cheap pleasure out of doing that. So I'm just going in. Once I'm all the way around, I will then pull it shut like so. So give it a nice good tug, and what I want to do is then just take the strand and just kind of weave it in and just tie it off, and just make sure that the strand, when you're done with it, will go on the inside of the project. So your pillow form should have already been inside at this moment, so you'd be out of luck if you had to do it now. So you just put your needle inside, just kind of weave it out through somewhere else, and then you can safely cut it, and then you will never see the loose ends of that. So this is what the pillow looks like deflated. Okay, and this is what it would look like. So you can see it's gone from small all the way to large and then back to small once again. So this is how you do a full circle pillow. And until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. Enjoy your new decorated pillow, and we'd love to see your creativity, so please be sure to show your pillows here on Facebook as well as the crochetcrowd.com. We'll see you. Bye bye.